If you're wondering how hot the microneedling was, check my backside. But it's worth the results.
Or so she thought.
Immediately after the microneedling treatment, this is normal.
Or did they just permanently jack up my face? Is that my story? Well, you're just gonna have to stick around to the end of the video to find out. I'm Amy, and welcome to my channel and my bedroom. We are going to be getting intimate because we are going to be talking about my face and if I
permanently jacked it up.
Sit back and relax as I share my personal microneedling journey in Turkey. I'll be going over my healing journey, what to watch out for when booking, and some secrets behind that discount price. As a disclaimer, this is just my experience. I am not a medical professional, and if you are looking for medical advice, do not look to a random person on the internet. Go consult with your personal doctor or physician. It has come the time for me to go to my microneedling appointment. This is what my skin looks like right now before I get 1,000 tiny needles in it. For reference, I've never done microneedling, and this is the first time I'm doing it, which maybe not the best to do in a foreign country, but Turkey is known for medical tourism. We shall see. And if not, Shelby's a nurse, so she knows what's up. Away I went to go get my microneedling treatment done at Aesthetic Derm. They had a lot of 5-star reviews, and I could also make an appointment without a consultation. I was greeted by a woman who was a translator for the service, so she advised me to sign a waiver and then showed me my room. Everything looked clean, sterile, above board, and for the treatment, look away if you do not want to see this treatment being done.
This is immediately after the microneedling treatment.
As a reminder, this was my face before. Next morning after microneedling.
Let's talk pain.
I don't know why I thought microneedling would have been any less painful than it sounds. I ended up getting the radio frequency one where the needles are
heated.
That was the most painful thing I probably ever experienced on my face. I did put lidocaine on and they let it set for an hour, but it burned. I almost asked the person to stop 5 times, but we made it. Now we have dessert, so it's okay. This is like all goodness. And 0 calories. 0 calories. If you are somebody who is going to be a little self-conscious about showing your face to the world with 1,000 needle marks in it, I would not recommend that you really do anything for the 2 days following microneedling. My face peeled a lot more than I thought it would, but I still went to Moss, still had my face out, but I was very mindful of the amount of sun that was coming in, as well as any screen time from my phone. We are on day 2 of getting RF microneedling done in Istanbul, and this is how the face is looking. As you can see, I still have these areas here and here. My mouth has definitely been better. My forehead, I feel it just looks red. You can barely tell. If you do look really close, you can still see that I have all of the scars over here. Although I was healing normally, there was some red flags that I couldn't help but notice. A little bit of a red flag if we were in the US is that there was no directions that were given to me printed out. When I was in the clinic, they did tell me about this and they did tell me to get different serums. I just ended up buying the one from them, and they did tell me to use this as well as SPF. But they didn't really give me any other direction other than that, which at most places in the States, when you get something done, you typically get pretty thorough directions on what to do after. And when I did look up RF microneedling and just microneedling in general, a lot of the results are also based on how well you take care of your skin after, which means kind of important for you to follow that stuff. So I did look up just some general things, doing a cleanser as well as a moisturizer. This is the first day that I used this. So I've had a full 2 days without that. Otherwise I just splashed water on my face. Normal moisturizer. Both of these are for sensitive skin. So nothing I do is very invasive, all fragrance free. And then of course just the serum as well. And I do think my face is definitely improving. It's just a little odd that I wasn't given any of that direction. How long will it take for my face to get back to normal? Probably 5 to 7 days. Jumping ahead to 5 days later. My skin definitely is better. As you can tell, there is a lot of peeling going on. These lines are substantially less than what they were. You can still see my cheek area where the needles were, as well as right here. You can literally see the grid line. Everything seemed fine and dandy until I realized one critical thing. RF microneedling actually has the possibility to melt some of your fat. For some areas of your face, people actually do want as a result. So particularly under the chin here, a lot of people usually look for that, I think, to reduce any type of sag. I'm a little concerned for my cheeks. Now, that being said, I only did 1 treatment, and typically for most people, you have to do 3 to 4 treatments, sometimes 3 to 5 to get ideal results. And obviously I'm only doing 1 treatment. So I'm a little concerned to see what the results will be. My face also felt sore. This area feels sore, but also feels tighter. Part of that I think is just jet lag. We're on 1 week from microneedling, and this is how my face is looking. One thing that is still persisting is this tightness along my jaw. The tightness, because of where it is, it feels very similar to if you were dehydrated. Jumping ahead to 2 weeks. 2 weeks post RF microneedling. Redness on my cheeks from the marks have gone away. I don't have any more of these marks. Quite a bit of redness here, which I will say, even though I did put sunscreen on, I think that this is kind of normal. If you look from the images, which I'll put here in the video, I did have quite a bit of redness as well as swelling around here. So I would expect that it's gonna take a little bit longer to heal. Overall, my skin definitely, I feel, looks brighter. Does feel a little more even. It doesn't feel patchy anymore, except for... That's enough rambling. Let's jump ahead to week 7 to see if RF microneedling permanently jacked up my face. Maestro, and by maestro I mean editing Amy, can I get a drum roll, please? Hello, everybody. As you can see, RF microneedling did not permanently jack up my face. However, I did find out that I'm severely allergic to the acid that I put on my face. I did a lot of trial and error, but the redness around my upper and lower lip, it was definitely the serum. So here are some overlay footage of what I look like without any concealer on my upper and lower area. I'm only wearing eye makeup aside from the concealer. That way you can see what my results look like. Looking at the before footage and the after footage, I do notice a difference in my skin tone. Now, I was tanner when I did this, but I still think that my skin is brighter. I also think that my forehead wrinkles are a little less noticeable. And I know there's gonna be some people in the comments saying, you're 28, you care about forehead wrinkles. Well, I live in Florida and I don't always put on sunscreen. So unfortunately, I have some wrinkles on my forehead. But do I think it was worth the 200 euros that I paid, and would I recommend it to you? In terms of payment, I do think if you want to try microneedling, that it is worth it if you are going to be in Istanbul to book it. I paid $200, and with the $200, you do get a pretty thorough facial cleaning done before they actually even put the numbing cream on. In the States, a single session is $700 to upwards of $2,000. There were some risks and potential red flags that I did encounter that you could as well. For example, I got 0 aftercare instructions. If you even go to a dentist appointment in the US, you get aftercare instructions. And the fact that I didn't get any was a little weird. Also, something that became very evident after my procedure is that nobody actually explained to me the difference between RF microneedling and microneedling when it came to the potential risks. So, for example, like I mentioned before, potential volume loss. Now, the volume loss is typically due to somebody not administering the treatment correctly, which would have been good to know because I don't know if I would have gotten this done if that was the case. Something I wouldn't put in the red flag section for getting this done in Istanbul, but I would just like to make people aware when it comes to RF microneedling, is that that was the most painful thing I have ever had done to my face.
Ever.
I could feel it burning. I don't blame the clinic for the amount of pain that I felt during that procedure. Being a redhead, there is an actual gene mutation that does have to do with red hair, where I am just naturally, as a redhead, I need more numbing treatment. And because you are given a ointment that they put on your face, well, it does rest for an hour. That ointment really only has a certain amount of numbing agent in it, and that numbing cream would have had to be a lot higher. Another thing to be considerate of is the fact that you are going to have a few days where you may not want to go out in public. Now, me, I did not care. I went out with my face peeling all over. But if you're not okay with that and you don't really want to show people your face when it has 1,000 little needles in it, then I would recommend scheduling some downtime for that. Now that we've talked about the price, the pain, and the red flags, I'm going to tell you what I wish I would have done differently. And if you are somebody who would like to go to Turkey, I would recommend that you follow these steps. Instead of going to a skincare clinic, book something with a hospital. A hospital is going to have a lot more dermatologists, and they are also going to have quite a bit of availability if you want to do a skin consultation as well as book a treatment or other treatments. The only thing is you are going to want to book in advance and not do what I did, which was booking 2 days before. The other thing is looking for a medical tourism certificate at a place that you're going to get work done. This is a certificate that is issued by the government saying that there are certain standards that need to be upheld in order to be treated. If you are like me and you are very short on time and you can't book at a hospital, if you're going to book at a skin clinic, I would recommend booking at one that has a dermatologist on site and asking who is going to be performing what you're getting done. The other thing I would be keen on asking is aftercare instructions written, printed out, or emailed before your treatment and not after. The other thing is making sure that you thoroughly vet the place that you're going to by looking at reviews. Now that we've gone through what I would have done differently, let's get into, was it worth it? My face is brighter, my wrinkles on my forehead are definitely less than what they were. Again, I know I'm 28, so there wasn't much to start with, but still, it's progress. However, do I think the results justified the pain? No. No. So while I will not be getting RF microneedling done in the future, I do think that it was worth it to try it for a fraction of the cost. If you happen to be in Turkey and you want to try something, I do encourage you to book at hospitals. Again, find dermatologists that will treat you. Go to a place that's going to give you written instructions. But ultimately, if you're going to do it, don't fly all the way to Turkey for it. Those are just my thoughts. Tell me, would you fly to Turkey to get a lot of work done at a fraction of the cost? And hey, no shame if you will. Again, the prices are 50 to 70% cheaper than in the US, which means when you factor in travel cost and the accommodation, you could go to Turkey and get a vacation out of it, all for the price of getting a few things done in the US. So let me know in the comments if you would go to Turkey to get work done, or if you've gotten something done, what was your experience? If you enjoyed this video, do your girl a favor and hit that subscribe button, crush the like button. I'm Amy. Thank you for coming over to the Curious Corner of the internet. We almost spent 12 minutes together, and that's pretty cool.